A young man walks into a KFC restaurant in China. He's hungry, but not for food. He's hungry for a job, for a chance, for hope. He applies to work there. The answer? No, thank you. This same man applies to be a police officer. Rejected again. He tries to get into Harvard University. Not once, not twice, but 10 times. 10 rejections, 10 doors slammed in his face. Today, that same man is worth over $25 billion. His name is Jack Ma, and his story will change the way you think about failure forever. The early struggles, when dreams meet reality. Jack Ma was born in 1964 in Hangzhou, China, during a time when his country was still finding its way in the world. His family wasn't rich. His father was a traditional musician, and his mother was a housewife. They lived simply, but they gave Jack something more valuable than money. They gave him the belief that he could dream big. But dreaming big and achieving big are two very different things. Jack's first lesson in failure came early. He was never a good student. Math, terrible. Science, even worse. He failed his college entrance exam twice. Twice. Can you imagine how that felt? While his classmates moved on to university, Jack was stuck, wondering if he was smart enough for anything. Here's what I want you to remember. Jack Ma wasn't born special. He wasn't born with a golden spoon in his mouth. He wasn't even born particularly smart by traditional standards. But he was born with something else, the ability to get back up every time life knocked him down. The power of learning English. When Jack was 12 years old, he discovered something that would change his life forever: the English language. But here's the beautiful part of this story. He didn't learn English in a classroom. He didn't have expensive tutors or fancy computer programs. Every morning for 9 years, Jack would ride his bicycle to a nearby hotel where foreign tourists stayed. He would offer free tours of his city to anyone who would speak English with him. Think about that for a moment. A 12-year-old boy cycling to a hotel every single day, not for money, but for knowledge. Some tourists thought he was strange, others ignored him completely. But some kind souls saw his determination and spent time with him. Through these conversations, Jack didn't just learn English, he learned about the world beyond China. He learned about different cultures, different ways of thinking, different possibilities. This is your first lesson from Jack Ma. When you want something badly enough, you'll find a way to get it. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need the best resources. You just need the willingness to do whatever it takes. The university years, finding his voice. After failing his college entrance exam twice, Jack finally made it to university on his third try. He studied English at Hangzhou Normal University. He wasn't the smartest student in his class, but he was definitely the most determined. At university, Jack discovered something about himself. He was a natural leader and speaker. He became the chairman of the Student Federation. He organized events, led discussions, and inspired his fellow students. People were drawn to his energy and his positive attitude. But even then, the rejections continued. When he graduated in 1988, he applied for dozens of jobs. He was turned down by every single one. Can you imagine graduating from university full of hope and dreams, only to be rejected over and over again? Here's what Jack Ma teaches us. Your worth isn't determined by how many times you get rejected. Your worth is determined by how you respond to those rejections. Do you give up, or do you keep going? The teaching years, building character. Finally, Jack got a job as an English teacher at a local university. His salary was $12 a month. $12. In America, that's what some people spend on lunch. But Jack didn't complain. He threw himself into teaching with the same passion he had brought to learning English. His students loved him. Why? Because Jack Ma didn't just teach English, he taught them to dream. He taught them that their circumstances today didn't have to determine their tomorrow. He taught them that with hard work and determination, anything was possible. During these years, Jack also started a translation business. He would translate documents for small companies, earning a little extra money on the side. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was honest work, and it was his own. This period of Jack's life teaches us something crucial. There's no shame in starting small. There's no shame in taking a job that others might look down on. Every experience, every job, every challenge is preparing you for something bigger. The first encounter with the internet. In 1995, Jack Ma's life changed forever. He was on a business trip to the United States when a friend showed him something called the internet. Remember, this was 1995. Most people had never heard of the internet, especially in China. Jack searched for information about China online. He found almost nothing. He searched for Chinese companies. Again, almost nothing. In that moment, Jack saw an opportunity that would change everything. He decided to start an internet company in China. But here's the problem. Jack knew nothing about computers. Nothing about technology. Nothing about the internet. His friends thought he was crazy. His family worried about him. But Jack had something more powerful than knowledge. He had vision. He returned to China and started a company called China Yellow Pages with two friends. They had no money, no office, and no real plan. They worked from Jack's apartment, using his own savings to keep the company running. The business struggled. They had trouble convincing Chinese companies that they needed websites. The internet was too new, too strange, too foreign. After 3 years of struggle, Jack had to close the company. Another failure, another rejection. But Jack Ma was learning something important. Every failure was actually a lesson in disguise. The government job, a comfortable trap. After China Yellow Pages failed, Jack was offered a job with the Chinese government. It was a good job, stable, with decent pay and benefits. Many people would have been happy to take it. Jack took it too, and for a while, he was content. But deep inside, Jack knew this wasn't his destiny. He was comfortable, but he wasn't growing. He was safe, but he wasn't challenging himself. The internet was growing rapidly around the world, and Jack could see that China was being left behind. In 1999, Jack made a decision that would change his life forever. He quit his government job and decided to start another internet company. His friends thought he was making a huge mistake. Why leave a secure job to chase another risky dream? But Jack Ma understood something that many people don't. Sometimes the biggest risk is not taking any risk at all. Sometimes playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do. The birth of Alibaba, starting with nothing. Jack gathered 17 of his friends in his apartment in Hangzhou. He told them his vision: to create a website that would help small Chinese businesses sell their products to the world. He called it Alibaba, after the famous character from Arabian Nights who opened doors with the magic words, "Open Sesame." The group pooled their money together. They had $60,000, not much to start an internet company. Jack and his team worked 16-hour days, 7 days a week. They slept in sleeping bags on the office floor. They ate instant noodles for every meal. For the first 3 years, Alibaba made no money, zero. Jack had to borrow money from friends and family just to keep the company running. Many of his employees left to find better jobs. Investors said no to him hundreds of times. But Jack never gave up. He had learned something important from all his previous failures. Success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about persisting through failure until you find success. The breakthrough: when vision meets opportunity. In 2003, Jack and his team launched Taobao, an online marketplace for Chinese consumers. This was their direct challenge to eBay, which was already established in China. Everyone said they were crazy. How could a small Chinese company compete with the mighty eBay? But Jack understood something that eBay didn't. Chinese consumers were different. They had different needs, different shopping habits, different expectations. While eBay charged fees for listing items, Taobao was free. While eBay had limited customer service, Taobao offered personal support. The strategy worked. Within 2 years. Taobao had more users than eBay in China. eBay eventually gave up and left the Chinese market. This teaches us another important lesson. Sometimes the biggest companies in the world can be beaten by someone who simply understands their customers better. The rise of an empire. From 2005 onwards, Alibaba grew at an incredible pace. Jack and his team launched Alipay, an online payment system. They expanded into cloud computing, logistics, and digital entertainment. They went from a small startup in an apartment to one of the largest companies in the world. In 2014, Alibaba went public on the New York Stock Exchange. It was the largest IPO in history at that time, raising $25 billion. Jack Ma, the man who had been rejected by KFC, who had failed his college entrance exam twice, who had been turned down by Harvard 10 times, was now one of the richest men in the world. But here's what's beautiful about Jack's story. Even after becoming incredibly successful, he never forgot where he came from. He never forgot the struggles, the rejections, the failures that had shaped him. The philosophy of Jack Ma. Throughout his journey, Jack Ma developed a philosophy that guided him through every challenge. First, he believed that today is difficult. Tomorrow will be worse, but the day after, tomorrow will be beautiful. Most people give up tomorrow night, never seeing the sunshine that comes after the storm. Second, he believed that your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude. It's not how smart you are that matters, it's how determined you are. Third, he believed that the size of your success is determined by the size of your dream and the size of your team. You can't achieve great things alone. Fourth, he believed that helping others succeed is the best way to ensure your own success. Alibaba's mission was always to make it easy to do business anywhere in the world. Lessons from the journey. What can we learn from Jack Ma's incredible journey? First, failure is not the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone to success. Every rejection Jack faced, every business that failed, every door that closed, was preparing him for the doors that would eventually open. Second, persistence beats talent. Jack wasn't the smartest person in the room, but he was often the most persistent. While others gave up, he kept going. Third, vision without action is just a dream, but action without vision is just activity. Jack had both. He could see the future, and he was willing to work incredibly hard to make it happen. Fourth, surround yourself with people who believe in your vision. Jack's success wasn't just his own, it was the success of his entire team who believed in what they were building together. Fifth, never stop learning. Even after becoming successful, Jack continued to learn, to grow, to adapt. The world was changing rapidly, and he knew he had to change with it. The retirement and legacy. In 2019, Jack Ma stepped down as chairman of Alibaba. He was only 55 years old, still young and energetic. Why did he retire so early? Because he wanted to focus on education and philanthropy. Jack had never forgotten his roots. As a teacher, he established the Jack Ma Foundation, which focuses on education, entrepreneurship, and environmental protection. He wanted to help the next generation of dreamers and entrepreneurs, even in retirement. Jack Ma continues to inspire millions of people around the world. He speaks at universities, mentors young entrepreneurs, and invests in companies that are trying to make the world a better place. Your turn to dream. As we come to the end of Jack Ma's story, I want you to think about your own life. What dreams have you given up on? What goals have you abandoned because of rejection or failure? Jack Ma's story teaches us that it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to chase your dreams. It's never too late to believe in yourself. You might be thinking, but I'm not Jack Ma. I don't have his vision or his determination. But here's the truth. Jack Ma didn't start with those qualities either. He developed them through years of struggle, failure, and persistence. The English teacher who couldn't get hired anywhere is now one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. The man who was rejected by KFC is now creating jobs for millions of people. The student who failed his college entrance exam twice is now giving speeches at the world's top universities. If Jack Ma can do it, so can you. If Jack Ma can overcome rejection, so can you. If Jack Ma can turn failure into success, so can you. The final message. Remember, success is not about where you start, it's about where you finish. It's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. It's not about having the perfect plan, it's about having the courage to begin. Jack Ma once said, "Never give up. Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." Your sunshine is coming. Your breakthrough is coming. Your success is coming. But first, you have to decide, are you going to be like everyone else who gives up when things get difficult? Or are you going to be like Jack Ma, who used every rejection as motivation to try harder? The choice is yours. The time is now. Your story is waiting to be written. What will you choose? Remember, every great story starts with someone who refused to give up. Your story starts today.